Is the history of the First Amendment include the ability for anonymity? Because heads exploded this week when you said that people online, you get rid of the algorithms that maintains anonymity.
Social media has become a national security issue. Yeah. So when you look at it, first of all, I think social media companies need to show us their algorithms. Be transparent to the American people. How do you do what you do, and show it to us? The second thing is, what I know, what anyone in intelligence, and we knew this at the United Nations, and they've known for a while, Russia, Iran, and China, North Korea too, know that the cheapest form of warfare is to spread misinformation. Look at what happened with Israel. You want to know where all this pro-Hamas information is coming from? It is coming from foreign actors that are sowing chaos and division. I want freedom of speech for Americans. I don't want freedom of speech for Russia and Hamas. And that's what's happening right now. So the way you fix that is we need our social media companies to verify everybody so that we can get all of those. So
you're not really saying that people can't tweet I mean, but that's bad enough, because you see what it's doing to our kids and bullying and everything else.
Do I think life would be more civil if we were able to do that? Yes. It's the same reason why I think doxing, like, you know, you should stand by what you say. But no, like, if you can have anonymous, I don't mind anonymous American people having free speech. Okay. What I don't like is anonymous Russians and Chinese and Iranians having free speech.
How would the conversation be with President Xi if you were to have that conversation at APEC?
I would ask him why he's putting a military base off our shores in Cuba. I would ask him why he continues to murder Americans by sending over fentanyl. I'd ask him why he's stealing our intellectual property and not owning up to it. I would ask him why he's buying so much U.S. soil and it's next to military installations. There are a lot of conversations we need to have. The problem is Biden, one, begged to go have the conversation by sending 4 cabinet directors there. They're going to have the conversation. What they're going to come out is an agreement on the environment. That is not what we need to be talking about. China is building up their military at record paces. We better let them know we're on to us. I saw at the United Nations, Biden and Yellen keep telling us that China is a good competitor. When I was at the United Nations, China never saw America as a competitor. They saw America as an enemy. We better start looking at them the way they look at us.
How much are you willing, though, to risk with the China relationship, particularly when it comes to U.S. corporations, to have that conversation? Because those hard conversations could result in U.S. companies being retaliated against, not, there won't be rule of law over there when it pertains to them in markets that they want to be in, they want to participate in.
This is a national security issue. You know, I'm not talking about T-shirts and light bulbs. What I am talking about is our technology, anything that builds up their military, pharmaceuticals. Those are the things we need to be looking at, and we need to do it in a strong way. I would go to China and I would stop selling them land, and I'd take back the land they already purchased. I would go and get them to stop, not just Chinese, but all foreign money going into our universities. We would make sure that they know that we're not going to send them technology anymore, and we'd stop all normal trade relations until they stop murdering Americans with fentanyl. The way we need to do this is we need to focus on what they are doing. Think about it. They are the premier power when it comes to our military situation at our ports. They are in charge of all of the global supply chain. If they cut that off tomorrow, where does that leave American companies? We need to have that conversation with our companies and let them know, if China pulls the rug out from under you tomorrow, are you ready? And I think a lot of American companies aren't ready.
Related to that, NVIDIA's CEO, and NVIDIA is now effectively shipping what might be described as throttled chips to China, meaning chips that actually technically can go faster, but don't because of the rules we've put in place. But one of the things that he has said repeatedly is, look, if we don't send them these faster chips, it's only going to motivate them and incentivize them to create companies that are going to compete even better with the NVIDIAs of the world. I'm not taking sides on this, but I'm curious what you think of how you balance those two ideas. One is, if we send them these super fast chips, that they're able to then leapfrog us in other ways, on one end. On the other end, that these American companies either lose out in the immediate term or maybe longer term if, in fact, China creates bigger and better competitors.
Why do we want to help an enemy that wants to destroy us? Why would we want to do that? I don't care how much money you can make off of it. I don't care how many excuses you want to give. The reality is, and this is the problem I had with the chips bill that they did. They went and they incentivized these American companies to produce chips. But what did they do? They didn't stop them from producing in China. They lost the whole point of it. The goal is take that ability away from China so that they can't threaten us with it. Take that ability away from China so that they don't win. America needs to win. We need to start focusing on what it takes for America to win and for our enemies to fall to the wayside.